Peter McGuire is with us, Chief Market Strategist at FX Global Capital, joining us on a phone line from Sydney. Peter, thank you so much for joining us on Profit. Let me first get your opinion on what we saw yesterday from the US Federal Reserve, signs of no more QE3, thereby giving an upside push to safe haven currencies such as the US dollar. However, we are witnessing sluggishness on the euro and also on the yen.
Well, good morning, Ashwell, and thanks for inviting me on the show. Yeah, moving on from that, I mean, I'm not surprised to see the strength of the US dollar over the last couple of weeks. I think you're probably seeing a continuing upside. US dollar index probably 81, 82 by this time next month or possibly the end of May. Euro, very, very upsetting as far as those unemployment numbers. And I think overall the US seems to be in a little bit better state than the euro, and I think you're going to see a continuation upward push for the US dollar.
What about the yen? We saw the yen being slightly better last week, but this week itself haven't really seen that kind of a strength, particularly yen and the euro. What's the equation looking like right now?
Well, I think the yen's a little bit, there's nervousness out there. The Japanese economy probably, if I go first off, I think the yen will probably strengthen, certainly against the euro. But if you're talking dollar yen, US dollar yen that is, I think you're going to see a continuing upswing for the US dollar, which will probably benefit Japanese exporters. And I know that they've had certain major issues when you're looking at what happened, of course, last year with Fukushima.
Peter, what about emerging market currencies, including the Indian rupee? Any signs of weakness that you might see if you see the US dollar strengthening further? Do you think that could perhaps put pressure on the emerging market currencies, particularly Indian rupee?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Ashwell. I think, there's just an overall swing up to the, as far as upbeat. We've had a very, very strong 6 months for US equities, and I'm sure that you're going to see a continuation of probably US dollar strengthening against those emerging markets. I'm probably still keeping a close eye on what happens as far as your Reserve Bank or central bank, as far as inflation and interest rate policies that the Indian banks put out. But I think overall, again, strengthening US dollar for the rest of 12. It's going to be we're in an election year, and remembering that it's very, very icy and cold in opposition, and I'm sure Barack Obama has one agenda, and that is to stay in power.
Peter, thank you so much for joining us on NDTV Profit, giving us a clear picture on how to read into the currency signals right now.